So today I wanted to talk about Blackmagic's new PYXIS camera, as you probably have guessed from the title of this video. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube, at least a couple that showed some negative connotations towards a camera that costs $3,000. I just wanted to bring to attention some of my thoughts about this camera and some of the design and business decisions that I think Blackmagic has made in regard to marketing this camera, and in particular the choices that were made in the designing of this camera. So from what is seen from reviews like from CVP, for example, it seems to have the same sensor as the 6K cinema camera, and the rolling shutter is pretty much the same. The noise level should be, so everything is the same sensor. It's not yet seen that if the mount was going to be interchangeable. But one of the curious things, and I would like to talk to you about, is the screen. You know, one of the things that I've heard people talk about a lot was that why would a camera have a screen on the side? You know, because if you're an engineer designing a camera, you know, this is a cinema camera, right? So Blackmagic already has their broadcast cameras. I mean, this kind of placement of a screen is kind of interesting because it presumes that you're going to be standing by the side of the camera. A lot of people were thrown by this interesting design choice from Blackmagic. And, you know, I think it's obvious that, at least to me, that from the choices that Blackmagic has made, it seems like they want to market this new EVF. And the reason the AVF is in all the pictures with this camera, most of the pictures with this camera, is to essentially entice you to buy into the EVF system, which I think is logical because Blackmagic has invested a lot of R&D into developing a new EVF with Type C and some improvements made to overall construction. So I do think that Blackmagic wants us to purchase the EVFs. Maybe the EVF sales weren't as good, and they wanted to be a little bit like Apple about it. You know, a little bit of introducing an intentional limitation to force you to buy into an accessory. And from what Blackmagic seems to be going with, it seems like they do have that Apple bug, and that's what I think. That I think is the reason why the screen is on the side. You know, because there is no other logical reason why would this camera not have the same screen as the Ursa Mini, right? The second discussion, I was having on Reddit, and I just wanted to rally it here, is that, and I've talked about this a lot before. Blackmagic already has a box camera. You know, the box camera, it has two box cameras because technically Ursa Mini is a box camera. You know. But obviously they went full frame with the new 12K, but I think as a smaller box camera, or for someone who had been using Pocket series, this is going to be something new. But for Ursa users, I don't think it's necessary for an Ursa user to get the 6K. You know, if you already have Ursa or 4.6 or Ursa 12K, I think having a 6K as your B cam is a nice bonus, but it definitely doesn't make or break your process. If I had a little bit more sense, I would have definitely designed Blackmagic PYXIS with Ursa-like screen, or at least offered it with an Ursa-like screen. You know, at least give people options to go with the EVF or the flip-out screen. And this kind of design limitation is one thing that I honestly can criticize PYXIS for, but at the same time, as a non-AVF user, as I mostly use monitors, I like using monitors. I'm not a big fan of the EVFs. I don't find this particularly a big deal. When it becomes a big deal is in the battery consumption, because one thing that I am kind of sort of worried about is if you're unable to turn off the screen, if the screen is always on, right? Plus I have another screen, would that drain the battery? That's one of the things I was kind of pondering about, because I do like using external screens more than the EVFs, and when getting this camera I will most likely use an external monitor, but I don't think that there wasn't a place for the monitor. There was definitely solutions. If they had introduced PYXIS with a flip out screen, this would be like an Ursa Mini, which is what kind of everyone has been hoping for, but that's not the case. And this kind of design limitation is one of the things that I think is, somewhat of a negative, but overall I think it's fantastic that Blackmagic has given us a box camera. Finally, they've heard us, I've been holding off from buying 6K cinema and being Blackmagic Pocket 6K because I really did not like the photography form factor. But now I'll definitely be looking forward to getting one of these cameras any time they become available, because it seems like the backorder log is going to be pretty crazy. So yeah, these are some of my thoughts on this Blackmagic bandwagon train, that we've been on, and I hope you're having your pre-orders ready and braced for long wait times before we all get our hands on it. But I'm sure that the reviews are going to be pouring in pretty soon, and we're going to see what it's about. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.